Hello everyone. Welcome to video 4, which is a part of my lesson planner setup, specifically in setting up your planner and doing the planner wizard in Eduphoria Forethought. So let me get out of this and let's go ahead and log in to Eduphoria. Remember, your login is going to be your SOPI username. I'm using a different one because of my test page and my test person that I'm working in. Enter your password. And from there, it's going to take us to that landing page. We are going to be working in Forethought, so click on Forethought, and it brings us up to this very first page. The very first page you come to is going to be the Setup My Planner wizard. Now, if you remember from previous videos, we've looked at the scope and sequence area here. So we've looked at this area, and we know how to navigate this. Now we're coming up to the My Planner portion over here on this left tab. On this page is where you will automatically open every single time you open Eduphoria, because this is where you work most of the time. So this is the wizard that we're going to follow in order to set up our planner. It is a very simple wizard, but teachers do remember that as you're setting up your planner, you're going to think about the courses that you teach, that you're scheduled to teach. In the SOPI organization in each of our campuses, you will set up your planner based on every class that you have that is a direct teach class. So if you are teaching English 1 direct teach, then this is something you would set up in your planner. If you are doing credit recovery classes that are based in Plato or modules or Apex or A Plus or something of that nature, those are not ones that you set up in the My Planner section. These are your direct teach courses that you are going to set up. So we are going to go ahead and start the wizard, and we start by moving over here to the next button. At the next button, we're going to give this a name. So I'm going to give it the name of Carruthers Schedule. Then I'll come down here to this navigation button and go next. And this is where I'm going to start adding my schedule. And so in order to start adding your schedule, you're going to add an entry. So the first thing I want to do is I want to add a course with learning standards, or my options are add a course with learning standards, a course that mirrors another, and or a special entry. Special entries are stuff like lunch, conference, if there's a special time that you have to do something, that's how you would label that. So as we build our first schedule, you'll see how that will come into play. Most of the time, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, you're going to be using a course with learning standards. For today's example, I'm going to assume that I'm an English teacher at one of our campuses. So I want to go next because I want to do a course with standards. And I want to navigate down to the English, and let's say first period I have English 1. So I want to click on English 1 and click next, and there's English 1. Now I need to know what period I'm talking about because I may have multiple sections of English 1. So I may do period 1 English 1 is what my name is going to be, and we're going to recommend that you identify it by period and by course. And click next, and there you see it adds in. So, of course, in our morning we have 4 periods, so I'm going to add another entry. Maybe second period is my conference. So I'm going to add a special entry, click next, and this is my conference period. And do you want to be able to make comments in this special entry? You can choose yes or no. I'm going to say no because I'm probably not going to do anything specific in my conference period that I'll need to put into Eduphoria Forethought. So I'm going to click no and go next, and you can see it adds it there. I'm going to add another entry. Now we're on third period, so I want to do a course with learning standards. And maybe third period I teach English 2. So I want to click next, or select English 2, click next. English 2, this is going to be period 3, English 2, next. And then I want to add another entry. And I want to, next I teach English 3. So I want to do course with learning standards. I want to navigate down to the course I teach, which is English 3. Click next. This is period 4. English 3. All right, so there looks like there's my morning schedule. Now I can add in a special entry, and we're going to call this lunch. This is lunchtime. Let's say lunch. I'm not going to want to make any notes about lunch. So next. And then I would put in the rest of my afternoon schedule. So let's say add an entry. Maybe it is English 1 again. This would be period 5. English 1. Add an entry. Course with standards. Now, last time this was my conference period. I don't have a conference period in the afternoon. Maybe this is when I'm teaching English 4. So I'll click English 4. This is period 6. Add an entry. Course with learning standards. Now we need English 2, looks like. This is period 7. And then period 8 is going to be English 3. This is period 8. And so now look at my schedule for the day, and this looks like a great schedule. If you made an error in entry, you can click on it and go Edit Entry. You can click on it, move it up or down if you want to change your schedule, or you can completely remove an entry if you entered it inadvertently or don't even need that row there. But once your schedule looks correct, you'll press Next, and it says, do you want to add another schedule? Now, do you want to add another schedule? It would depend. Now, if you, because we're on 9-week schedules, and over a course of 2 9 weeks, your schedule may change, or it may change if you have semester courses at the 9 weeks. That's when you would go in and you would add maybe second 9-week schedule or something like that, and you can add the schedule here. Now, if you're at the beginning of the year, you may not know if you need to add another schedule, and that's okay, because we can always come back and we can do that at a later time. It's not necessary to do that now. For right now, we're not going to add another schedule, so I'm going to click No. And then Eduforia tells me they have everything that they need from me in order to begin my planning. And it says, down here at the bottom, it says Begin Using Forethought. And once you do that, it's going to bring you up to this work page that we will discuss in our next section. But that is basically how you set up your planner. Now, if you are coming to your second 9 weeks or the second semester, and you need to change your planner, you would do that here by clicking on Change My Settings. And we're going to go to My Schedules, and then you can look at the schedule that's there. You can edit the schedule, you can remove the schedule, or you can even add a schedule. And that's how you would get back there to change the schedule at the end of the first 9 weeks, second 9 weeks, or whenever that schedule changed. All right, thank you guys so much for listening, and happy working in Forethought. Thank you.